We now join Mom R's Upper Darby tour, already in progress.
Hang on, Eddie.
Which way?
Straight across.
By the sea. Back where we came from.
Straight across and up. Not quite where we came from. We're now following the route that Todd would have taken going home from school for lunch or after school. Really all crazy. Hey, Eddie.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, how you doing, man?
To the left, Ed. One of the houses, not in a hurry, but I'll point out to you the house where Bobby Hummel lived, who was the young man that first taught Todd to play by ear. What was that? Wipeout.
Wipeout.
The second house in this block that we're starting in now.
The second house, right there, right there.
252.
All right.
Home of the Hummel.
All right, the Hummel house.
Yeah, Bobby Hummel was a few years older than Todd, and I thought he would really make it. A real good-looking guy and very good musician. Over on the right, the house before, no, the house after these lions with this redwood fence in front. 323. Oh, this one with the marigolds and the dogwood tree was our house.
Which one,
Oh, get a picture of that tree trunk. I planted that. That's Todd at 6 months. Reaching for the stars.
Any interesting anecdotes about junior high school years?
The best thing that happened for Todd in junior high school was that his guidance teacher was one of the first teachers that seemed to want to align himself up on Todd's side. And he arranged for Todd to be, what was it? He took care of helped this teacher with the equipment for the baseball team because Todd wasn't athletic and the teacher wanted to get him to at least, mingle a little bit with the jock set.
What was that teacher's name? Do you remember?
Mr. Hilbert.
Right.
No, it wasn't Mr. Hilbert. Oh, geez, what was his name? I used to have it right on the tip of my tongue. I may think of it by the time we get around the front of the school.
Okay.
Patterson. Pat Patterson. I knew his first name.
Patterson.
Oh, what are your impressions of this school? Wait. What are your impressions of this school?
They made me wear crepe paper on my skirt because my skirt was too short.
Oh.
And they pinned crepe paper to it so it would be less than an inch above my knee. It wasn't allowed to be any shorter than that.
Wow.
That's the kind of school it was.
You were so new wave. You were before your
I know,
time.
I was a rebel.
That's great.
There was a helicopter that Todd acquired for the day when he was filming for the Tepte video. And it came down and went up from that field, and I think maybe some of you have seen pictures of that.
I remember seeing some in old YouTube.
This is the athletic field for the junior high school. How many do we have on this tour?
About
I don't know.
7. You can start out with
How many cars are there?
8 cars?
Yeah, some
8?
Todd cut a lot of classes.
If he did, I didn't know about it. If he did, he was smart about it.
He knew how to get away.
No, there weren't a lot of unexplained absences on his report card. The big story in junior high school, I'd forgotten it until you came up with it. People, the students that have gone through the school since then, and the teachers have talked to them if they say, did you ever have Todd Rundgren? Do you remember Todd Rundgren? The big story is Todd had been asked to be like campaign manager for the boy that was running for president of the class. And he wrote up this skit, and it was very much on a Bob Newhart type of format. And at the end, somebody was supposed to hit somebody in the face with a paper plate full of shaving cream. And the person that was supposed to get hit ducked, and the shaving cream went all over the velvet stage curtain of the school. And this was such a big deal. It's like the worst thing he ever did the whole time he was in junior high school. He got stopped in the rain by a cop for thumbing, and then they scolded him and called me to find out for sure if he was my son and not somebody that was running away, and then left him make it the rest of the way home, and he was a good ways from home. Nice cop. One of his early musical appearances, which was in Rittenhouse Square, that's a park down in Philadelphia. They had a 9 o'clock curfew on young people at the time, I think. And when the curfew time came up and the kids were told, it had to end and they had to go home, they all started to boo and start to carry on. And Todd gave this lecture about how sometimes what the police do displeases you, but sometimes you really need their help and you shouldn't really get totally down on the fuzz, which was not a popular viewpoint at the time.
Was that while Todd was still a Boy Scout?
No, it was somewhere between being a Boy Scout and being a Naz.
I don't know, I didn't picture him as a Boy Scout.
You don't have enough of this yet, Ed?
Yes, what's this? Wait.
Our world, okay?
Ooh.
We open it up here, and then we come over here and we have Todd Rundgren, issued 9/6/63.
Wow.
Freshman, probably. No doodles.
Very cool.
Is that
Very
cool?
cool.
All right.
That is great. Who are you?
My name is John. I live in the area, and this was given to me by a close personal friend.
Let our voices loudly ringing, everybody, let our voice far and near. Songs of praise our children singing to our golden memories dear. Faithful sons with love unfailing, loyal daughters so divine. Oh, my Upper Darby High School alma mater, mater mine. And the Upper Darby High School alma mater, mater mine.
This is performed for you by Patty Hobart, our only fan who graduated from Upper Darby High School. This is not Todd's old high school. This is a new building. His old high school is somewhere in the shell of it.
Ah.
I understand that the conversation came up last evening as to a rumor, which I can substantiate, that while Todd was in high school, he used to sit in one of his classes and knit. I found it so tiresome that he wanted to give the teacher this message: you're boring me.
That's good. We used to just sleep in class.
On his report card, sits in class and knits. And I wrote back on the report card, why do you permit it?
I think I've heard that story before. What was Todd's favorite subject, as you remember? Least favorite.
I don't think he liked any of them. The mathematics subjects came easier to him than...
That was a question in one of the questionnaires, I think Murph did or something. I read that somewhere about that question. I don't remember the answer about his favorite.
Directed to Todd or directed to me or directed
I don't
to
remember.
her?
I don't remember. Probably directed to me. Oh, yeah.
No, they... To the best of my knowledge, he didn't know anyone by those specific names when he was in high school.
Just those specific personalities.
But he was very close with his friend Randy, a little too close while he was in high school. And that's who the baby is named after. And the big mischief he and Randy got into, and the reason that his name is not thought well of around the high school, is that they produced an underground newspaper in which they made great sport of the teachers, and the teachers did not think it was funny. And then they distributed this into the lockers of the students. They didn't try to distribute it where anybody could tell who was producing it. They got called on the carpet and told to cut it out. And I believe they did after that.
That's good. At least he was motivated enough to do it.
Oh, yeah, he had a lot of motivation. He just didn't know what direction to put it into. Well, he and Randy were both... Todd had learned to play guitar by ear by that time, and he would teach Randy to play by memorizing. And they had this little group that they would be...
Money?
Or most of the time. Money. I don't know. Yeah. Yesterday, when we were leaving the restaurant, a young man stopped and spoke to me. He was in Money. I couldn't remember the name of,
I think they named it Money because they didn't make any. That's what I heard Todd say.
Rick Valenti is a very good musician. Never made it out of the local area, but a very good musician. Terrific on the harmonica.
There are a couple of Money songs laying around, tapes. I think Train Kept A-Rolling and something else. I think I have some of it. They're really bad.
Well, they didn't make any attempt.
No, it's not that it's bad. It's the quality is bad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was no home recording equipment at that time or anything.
Yeah, it was just in the garage with probably a cassette machine and one microphone dangling from a cable.
I don't even know where they would have got a mic.
Yeah. Mike, are you hip on Todd?
Todd who?
So, Mary, how do you think the weekend went?
I was thrilled. I was really...
Could have been any better.
I was so pleased to meet so many new people. And last night we sat down for about 3 hours with them and did some in-depth talking, which we really couldn't do during the day because of the music playing and such large crowds. But we got in smaller groups last night, and I met a lot of the newer people more.
What kind of subjects are you referring to as in-depth?
Subjects as to what the common denominator within us all bring us all together, and individually how the concept of the music has affected our lives, and topics like that.
The proprietress in the restaurant came to me when I was paying the check and said, sometime when Todd is playing in town, you'll have to let us know. We'd like to go and hear his music.
And the other thing that I thought was very interesting about these people that I talked to last night is that the majority of them did not really listen to any of the music until Oblivion. And in the past 2 years, they've just listened to the music from beginning. I mean, they've had to hear everything for the first time all at once within a year and a half or a 2-year period.
That must be such an experience.
And they're also overwhelmed, and that's why it's really hard for them to accept this weekend so easily. We're used to it because we've done it for 4 years, and we know what to expect. And they're still so overwhelmed.
Plus the fact that we've watched it grow from just an idea. One of the things I want to say now, because I haven't gotten around to saying it to Seth before, is that it was from he and Debbie's idea that I first got the germ of the idea to start having the True Star Productions had.
Right!
We're going to make a right here, Seth.
We are?
Yes. We are here.
It's coming up?
Yes. At the lunch.
Yeah, we did that in 1980. We had 2 days at
Oh, you actually did it. I thought you had only planned it.
Well, we did do things. We had that huge banner, and we got a big list of names.
I did have the banner, and I saw the flyers, and I thought you had only gotten around to
I have an original True Star Production flyer still.
We have T-shirts and everything. We got organized, but we didn't really do any events or anything because it just turns out to be too much work. It needs people who can do it full time, and we couldn't. And now that there are people who can do it full time, it's working well. So it works for all of us.
Yeah, but I think this is about as much as one group can handle. I think probably by next year it'll have to be planned, maybe one a month in different areas.
Because this larger a group is very hard.
Because you go where you can.
We have delegates going to the National GARF in 10 years.
Strong possibility.
Really, that's very bizarre. Now that I think.
Well, eventually the whole world will be GARFing, so.
Right, that's what we're aiming for.